Steph Curry is what, Stephen A? What's Steph Curry? How would you describe him?
The greatest shooter I have ever seen.
Me too. That's the greatest shooter in the history of basketball. That's Steve Nash 2.0, a mobile artillery unit whose handles let him get anywhere and whose range is essentially unlimited.
Curry is some kind of a shapeshifter. As his coach Steve Kerr put it so perfectly, what Curry's range does is distort the whole chessboard. Kerr himself wasn't just a good shooter, he's the most accurate three-point shooter in the history of the game. He had back-to-back seasons over 50%, but for his career, his high for threes in a game is 5. Again, different era. He wasn't a star, he was a role player. His role was to shoot. But he explained to me today that what makes Curry unique is that he isn't a spot-up shooter. He isn't a come-off-the-screen shooter. He isn't an off-the-dribble shooter. He isn't an on-balance or off-balance shooter. He isn't not an unlimited range shooter. He's all of them. All of them.
This season, who is the top offensive rated player in the NBA? Number 1, Steph Curry. This is an efficiency rating, right? Well, he's not asked to do as much. But again, when the other guys don't play, he does more, and he does it just as well as anybody else. Who has the top net rating of any starter? Steph Curry. Who has the top shooting percentage of any non-big? Because bigs are a lot of times shooting right in the paint, only in the paint. The answer is Steph Curry. Even in a season where people aren't paying attention, quiet is kept, he has a case that he's the MVP of the league.
No fouls to give for Cleveland. Ahead to Curry. Curry sets, fires, puts it up. Bang! Steph Curry from way downtown. And the first half comes to an end in dramatic fashion.
Here in the first. It's Curry. Walls is on him. Got by Rivers. Good if it comes.
3 cuppers, and they still couldn't stop him.
Early in the game, they were shooting 78%. Uh-oh.
Curry 3!
Does he like to trade 2 for 1, even with odds against him?
He shot that from the Hayward Park Station.
Switch automatically, everything.
Down to 4, Curry 3. He banked it in. He just banked it in.
He's got about a millimeter out of bounds.
A perfect 2 for 1. There's the free one. Good! Steph hits a 3.
Well, first of all, nobody's disrespecting Steph Curry. I certainly think he deserves to be in the MVP discussion, but last time I checked, so does Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard belongs in that discussion. That's point number 1. Point number 2, we're not sitting there and holding against Steph Curry what he does on the basketball court in terms of the health that he has. We're simply acknowledging that he has it compared to somebody like Damian Lillard who does not. Number 3, what would Damian Lillard do if he had that level of help available? What if he was in single coverage a lot of times? What if he had the caliber of a Klay Thompson and a Kevin Durant? You're talking about one guy that's one of the top 2 players in the world. You're talking about the combination of 3 dudes who are 3 of the greatest shooters the game has ever seen, with a guy like Draymond Green facilitating things in the system, facilitated by Steve Kerr. What would the Portland Trailblazers be without Damian Lillard? How about we ask that question? I don't even think they'd be on the radar. They might be worse than the Sacramento Kings. So I think that we have to, not to say that the Sacramento Kings were awful this year, because they were not. I'm simply making the point that when you look at what Damian Lillard has had to work with, I'm not saying he's better than Steph Curry by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not failing to acknowledge the greatness of Steph Curry and how he's the greatest shooter we've ever seen in our lives. I'm also paying attention, however, to the fact that you can give me a short window of material where we look at Steph Curry without a Kevin Durant who missed a few games, or without a Klay Thompson.
Lillard is the closest approximation to Steph Curry there is, really.
He was 6 of 9.
Oh my
Look
goodness.
at this shot by Lillard.
Oh my goodness.
Oh!
That was from the NBA logo.
Oh my goodness, what a shot.
You gotta be kidding me. One dribble over half court. Dead center.
That was
Spacing, you know why? They don't have many three-point shooters. Like that! Like that! Damian Lillard. If you don't do that, one dribble, don't foul, get out the way, Whiteside, and let Dame have his time.
A minute and a half to play. That's a bomb!
Oh
my gosh! Ridiculous! Damian Lillard!
now
Porzingis is trying to encourage Rick Carlisle to challenge. He looks behind at one of his assistants.
5 minutes ago, coming up the American Express halftime report. What? 3, Lillard!
One dribble over half court, and I raise.
He was in Bend, Oregon, wasn't he, when he shot this? Look at that, man. Oh,
Look at this shot here. Shot clock running down from the 8.
Lillard pulls up just past half court.
On the logo, just over half court, and it's easy now.
Graham back iron, rebound trip, up the date, at the buzzer. Got it. Damian Lillard at the buzzer. 15 more tips. Lillard again from long range. Logo, Lillard.
We pulls up. What are you thinking right now?
Getting made long.
That's what I'm thinking too. So I get it's totally unnatural for somebody to be shooting from that far.
To go. Lillard, long three is up and in.
Come on.
Damian Lillard. Just massive range. That's right. Dane Time says